West is doubling down on Ukraine and daring Moscow to blink. NATO has gathered in Ankara, and Germany's Chancellor delivered a message for Moscow. Russia has no chance of winning this war. 140 billion euros over 2 years, 40 billion for drone defences, and an alliance projecting unity. The summit opened. The war did not pause. Germany and its NATO allies are preparing to significantly expand their support for Ukraine, with Chancellor Friedrich Merz announcing that the alliance is set to confirm a major financial commitment covering the next 2 years. Speaking in Ankara as he arrived for the NATO Summit, Merz said European allies had launched a joint initiative to provide Ukraine with 70 billion euros annually in both 2026 and 2027, amounting to a total package of 140 billion euros. The German Chancellor expressed confidence that the summit would strengthen NATO's unity while reaffirming its long-term commitment to Kyiv. According to Merz, continued support for Ukraine remains a central priority for the alliance as Russia presses ahead with its military campaign.
I am certain that from Ankara, we will see a new spirit in NATO, one that makes NATO stronger and more united. And of course, we will also talk about Ukraine. We will continue to help Ukraine. We have also launched a joint initiative in Europe to continue supporting Ukraine over the next 2 years, 2026 and 2027, with 70 billion euros each year. It is now entirely up to Russia to end this war. And today, we will once again do everything we can to achieve that, and also send a clear message to Moscow. Russia has no chance of winning this war. They will not achieve their war aims. And the sooner we end this war, the better it will be for Europe, the better it will be for Russia, and the better it will be for peace in the world.
Merz's remarks came just hours after Russia launched another series of overnight ballistic missile attacks on the Ukrainian capital, Kyiv, reinforcing the urgency of discussions among NATO leaders. Alongside increased financial assistance for Ukraine, NATO is also preparing to strengthen its own military capabilities. Secretary-General Mark Rutte announced that allies will invest more than $40 billion over the next 5 years to improve defences against drones, reflecting the growing importance of unmanned systems on modern battlefields, where they have caused significant casualties in active conflicts.
We are on the cusp of the transatlantic defense industrial revolution. I'm asking you to take a leap and show our people that we are ready and capable to protect them anywhere at any time. And show Russia and all those watching today that the transatlantic defense industrial base is mobilizing with purpose. Governments and the defense industry are laying the path by investing in expanding defense production. Over the last year alone, we have seen $37 billion invested in just boosting our defense industrial base itself. According to our projections, by next year, the alliance will have the capacity to produce around 4 million artillery shells annually. Almost twice as many as last year. That's scale. So yes, we have made real progress. We are moving in the right direction. The strategy is clear.
As the NATO summit continues in Ankara, the alliance is seeking to project unity in the face of Russia's continuing offensive. With fresh funding for Ukraine and expanded investment in military capabilities, NATO leaders are signaling that their commitment to European security remains firmly in place, while making clear that support for Kyiv is expected to continue well beyond the immediate battlefield. NATO allies are preparing to hand Ukraine one of its largest financial lifelines yet, with Germany confirming a pledge worth 140 billion euros, or roughly $160 billion, over the next 2 years. German Foreign Minister Johann Wadephul revealed the figure on July 7th, telling Deutschlandfunk Radio that the funding would come entirely from European nations and Canada, with no contribution from Washington.
We can commit 140 billion euros to Ukraine for 2026 and next year, drawn solely from European and Canadian contributions. This will be a very strong signal of support to Ukraine.
The announcement lands just as NATO leaders gather in Ankara for a 2-day summit, where European spending has taken centre stage. NATO's Secretary-General Mark Rutte opened proceedings with a note of confidence, pointing to projections that European allies and Canada will invest $258 billion more in defence across 2025 and 2026 than in prior years.
Last year alone, European allies and Canada spent nearly 20% more on defense than the year before. An extra $139 billion. Looking at 2025 and 2026 together, it is an increase, again, Canada and the Europeans, of $258 billion, more than $250 billion.
Behind the numbers sits a familiar source of tension. Washington has spent months pressing European capitals to spend more, with US President Trump repeatedly branding allied budgets inadequate. That pressure reportedly extended to a private call on July 3rd, when Chancellor Friedrich Merz corrected Trump directly after the president dismissed Germany's defense spending as outdated online.
According to our projections, by next year, the alliance will have the capacity to produce around 4 million artillery shells annually. Almost twice as many as last year. That's scale. So yes, we have made real progress. We are moving in the right direction. The strategy is clear.
Berlin, for its part, is moving fast. Merz has pledged to double Germany's defense budget within 4 years, well ahead of NATO's original 2035 deadline, with the 2027 draft budget alone calling for a 30% jump to nearly 110 billion euros. Back on the Ukraine funding, Wadephul framed the pledge as more than financial support. He argued Kyiv's recent battlefield gains, striking deeper into Russian territory, proved that sustained backing is shifting the balance of the war. He was equally direct about what comes next, calling on Moscow to accept that the war cannot be won by force. Referencing talks held in London in June between Merz, Emmanuel Macron, and Keir Starmer, he said Europe remains ready to negotiate, but only on realistic terms.
Now it is up to Vladimir Putin to finally understand that he will not win this conflict on the battlefield, but that negotiations are the appropriate course of action.
With the Ankara summit still underway, attention now turns to whether allies can turn these pledges into signed commitments before it closes.